One thing that I find that is sorely missing out there in all the other health and fitness channels is this lack of willingness or desire to discuss the impact that our mental health can have on our physical health and appearance. In my opinion, and based on my 39 plus years of experience with health and fitness, I believe that our mental health is directly linked to our ability or inability to lose weight, to gain muscle, and to become overall healthy and fit in life. So for those instructors that solely focus on exercise and nutrition as their way of instruction, they're not providing the entire package or the entire solution to the problem. They're only providing you with one little piece of the puzzle. The best environment for a person to make significant change in their lives, gain momentum, and to avoid setbacks is an environment that is fostered in positivity and peace. This week, I'll be sharing with you 4 simple steps that you can begin using today in order to get chaos out of your life and bring positivity into your life, allowing you a better chance at shedding all that weight you want to lose and keeping it off for a lifetime. Let's dive in. Welcome to episode 22 of the LeRock Show, where I'm here to help you get your fitness back on track at any age and regardless of your current fitness level, so you can spend more quality time with your families, have a brighter outlook on life, and finally find the true joy that life has to offer. I'm your host, LeRock. As always, I'm pumped to be hanging out with you today, and I hope you're having an awesome day. For those of you listening on Apple Podcasts, thanks for listening, and thanks for leaving your reviews because it really does help the channel grow. And if you're watching on YouTube, thanks for believing and trusting in the process. You have the power within you every single day to take charge of your life, to make change in your life, and to make this life everything you want it to be. And as always, I look forward to your comments and feedback, as I'm always here for you if you need me. For those of you who've been hanging around the channel for a while now, you become very accustomed of this idea and this perception that I have that following some exercise routine or eating some certain diet plan is not the whole answer for how to lose weight and keep it off for a lifetime. That what you choose to do on a psychological level has a much greater impact on the results you're going to get. So obviously, if we need to address things on a psychological level first, we need to take certain steps to ensure that this mind that we use in order to address our psychology is in good health and is thinking clearly. And the best way to do this is to make an effort to bring positivity into our lives on a daily basis. So yes, I'm about to share with you 4 simple steps that you can begin using today in order to do just that. But before we dive in, I hope you've taken advantage of my free offer. I hope you've downloaded your very own copy of my Automate Your Plate checklist. Automate Your Plate is an eating approach that I developed more than 15 years ago. I used it to shed 65 pounds in 13 weeks, and I've managed to keep that weight off ever since. Automate Your Plate is also one of the 9 directives that I talk about in my book and that I teach in my online course. The benefits of this eating approach is it allows you much freedom in choosing the items that you'll be eating. It gives you control. It does not require that you starve yourself, and allows you to stay continually satisfied and fueled on a regular basis. Now, those that have tried it and followed it correctly have had great results. Now, results speak louder than words. I'm a 52-year-old fitness enthusiast. I'm an author, and yes, I'm an online coach as well. I work full-time, and I have a busy schedule. Yet, while following this eating approach, as well as the other 8 directives in my book and in my online course, I've been able to maintain a very healthy and fit body for many, many years now. And I've been able to do this with very little effort at all. So yes, I put together a free Automate Your Plate checklist that steps you through the entire Automate Your Plate process. You can begin using it for your very own quick start guide for automating your plate and begin seeing the benefits. So be sure to pick up your free copy. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you can go to ethanlerock.com/automate. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can click on the link below and you can get it there. This week's episode is yet another one of those episodes that you won't see on many other health and fitness channels out there. My focus this week is on your mental health and life balance in general. You see, I've found that not only it is important to keep your mental health in check, but it is critical to keep your mental health in check if you want to have good results on a physical level. Now, my experience is that if you allow your mind to become unhealthy, then your body will soon follow. And I know that sounds like a very negative statement, but in fact, it tells us something very powerful. If we do everything we can to ensure a healthy mind, then our body will also follow that. It'll allow us to easily shed the weight, find time for exercise, and make better decisions in our nutrition. Now, one of the easiest things we can start when it comes to improving our mental health is to make a concentrated effort to bring positivity into our lives. So the following steps may be of some benefit to you personally. So I encourage you to grab a journal, grab a pen, piece of paper, and get ready to jot some things down as I take you through it. So the very first step for bringing positivity into your life is to address the low-hanging fruit. And what is that? That is getting negativity out of your life. It's another big elephant in the room that nobody cares to talk about. Yet it can have a significant and profound impact on whether you succeed or fail in your weight loss journey. So pay special and close attention. So in order to get negativity out of our lives, we need to look at two different types of negativity. The first one we're going to talk about is external negativity, things that aren't within us but outside. Those can be many things that we expose ourselves to on a daily basis. It can be, the media that we watch, the music that we listen to, the groups that we hang out with, either in person or online. It can be negative people that we have just in our lives in general. These are all things that have the potential to bring us down mentally and instill negativity within us. So yes, those are external things that we should pay attention to and weed out all the negativity that we can. The other thing we need to do is we need to look inside. Internally, what can we do to get negativity out? We need to start by paying attention to the way we think. When we're having a thought that's negative that comes into our mind, and we need to really focus in on what to do when that happens. Many times our first reaction when something negative happens is to get angry and get caught up in the whole drama of that thought, of this thing that's happening. And what I encourage you to do is do what I do, is when something bad happens to you, take a step back, no matter what it is, regardless of the severity of what it is, and ask yourself, what is something positive that I can take away from this bad thing that just happened? What is a spin that I can put on this? So that it no longer has power over me and no longer can control the way I feel and no longer make me feel bad about my day. What is something positive about this bad thing that just happened that I can turn it around and make it a good thing? And I'm not telling you that this is an easy thing to do, but it is a very important practice to start instilling into your life because it will make significant change in your life. I find myself, I've been doing this for more than 15 years now, and I still do this on a regular basis. I take a step back when bad things happen, and I ask myself this question: what can I do? What's something positive that I can think about this situation so that I can shift my mindset? Because that's the key thing here. You're trying to protect your mind. You're trying to protect your day as well, because your mind has a huge impact on how your day goes. So if you can take a step back and you can say, what's something positive I can take away from this, whatever it might be, and start focusing on the good, then internally you're going to be in a much better position for taking on the challenges that life throws at you. If you can come into it with a clear and positive mindset, which means keeping the negativity out. And some of these other forms of negativity that come from within are the easy ones, right? The obvious ones: jealousy, anger, holding grudges from the past. These are all things that we do. Getting caught up in drama. We do this to ourselves because a lot of people, it's just our inherent nature to try to react to something that's happening in the world. Try to react and shout out and stake our claim and put our flag in the sand and say, no, it's my way. This is the way I think. You're wrong. And we get caught up in anger, and we get caught up in negativity. And we get caught up in all these horrible things. But the truth of the matter is, it's up to us what we want to do, what we want to think. It really is. And when you start realizing that, if you've just been going on autopilot, okay, and you've been getting caught up in politics, for example, or religion, or all these other things out there that cause a lot of turmoil in the world, when you get into discussions and debates about it, then you need to ask yourself, how important is this to me? Because I'm telling you, if you were caught up in following various groups that focus in on politics or focus in on some, controversial subject, and you're picking a team, it doesn't matter what team you're on, okay? I'll use politics, for example. If you're a liberal or you're a conservative, or you're somewhere in between, or you're somewhere out here, right? And you're all taking a stance. It doesn't matter whether you're a conservative, a liberal, an independent, whatever it might be. Once you start taking that approach, that mindset that I'm this, and you start labeling yourself as something, okay? And taking a stance and getting angry and caught up in the discussion, you've already done damage to yourself. The damage has already been done. So you need to be able to protect yourself. You need to be able to protect that mind of yours by keeping that negativity out. And you have the power within you to do that. You just need to be conscious of it. So I have conscious little triggers that I do when I feel myself thinking something negative, and it's easy to do in today's world, right? This crazy world we live in with all the distraction and all the different things that are coming at you in the media, right? It's easy to pick a team or pick a side and get caught up in the argument. But when I feel that happening to me, I instantly step back and recognize it, and I shift my perception. And I say, is this really worth it? And you know what? Usually the answer is, no, it's not worth it. You're just digging yourself yet into another drama situation. So over time, it takes practice, but you can nip these things in the butt rather quickly and keep yourself vibrating on a positive level so that you can have a positive mindset and impact in the world. So the second thing that I would suggest that you should do in order to bring positivity in your life is, after you've gotten the negativity out of your life as much as possible, external and internal, is to keep chaos out of your life. Make a concentrated effort to keep chaos out of your life. And there are things that you can do. Many of the things that happen to us, we think they happen to us. My perception on life is things that are presented to us happen for us in life. They are all here for us to observe and learn from. And when it comes to chaos, it's up to us whether we allow chaos to stay in our lives or not. And there are many things we can do to prevent chaos in our lives. And I'll give you a few examples. One real easy one, and I talk about it pretty much each week, is to have some sort of plan in your life. A plan that takes you through a simple, laid out, step-by-step plan that you use in your personal life. So when you're not at your place of work, before the hours of when you go there and the hours of after you leave your place of work, this plan covers everything you do in your personal life. And it doesn't have to be micromanaged, but it should have some good detail in there. It should provide time for when you're going to, this is a health and fitness channel, so if you're looking to lose weight, when you're going to, do your exercise, when you're going to plan your nutrition, when you're going to eat your meals, what your meals will consist of, and all those wonderful things. But it also should include when you're going to spend time with your family, when you're going to take care of your finances, when you're going to take care of different extracurricular events that you have in your life, so you can get really organized on what you're doing. It's not all about health and fitness, because they all do relate. That's the truth. You need to be able to have a schedule that defines what you're doing, so you know what's coming at you before it comes, so you can be prepared and plan around it. Another real obvious thing when it comes to getting chaos out of your life is you need to stop yourself from being late, from running late. And how do you do this? What you do is you make sure that you add another 15 minutes of time to those important things in your life that you need to do. So obviously getting to work in the morning is probably one of the first ones. If you have a full-time job and you need to be at work at a certain time, then something I did years and years and years ago that really helped me is it wasn't like a choice, it was like a mandate that I would give myself at least 15 minutes extra in the morning. So I'm leaving earlier when I go to work. I'm giving myself more time. And it's amazing the impact that has on your life. You don't start your day off where you're in a panic and you're rushing to something. You know, you have this whole day ahead of you and you started it off where you're running around with, your shoes tied and you can't get anywhere. And you're feeling anxious and you're feeling angry and everything's setting you off. All because you just didn't give yourself a little bit of extra time. And the first response to that always is, well, how can I find time? Life is so busy, right? I hear that a lot. I don't have enough time. How can I find? Trust me, if you believe it's important enough, you'll find a way to find 15 minutes extra in your morning so that you can start your day at peace, so that you can arrive at your destination without being angry at everyone in the world. You know what the funny thing is? When I started doing this, when I started taking this extra little step of putting 15 minutes in front of things that were really important to me. So if I had to do something and I had an appointment that I had to hit, I gave myself some time. I basically got rid of things in my life that I used to have, like road rage, where I'd be in my car and someone would cut me off, okay? They would cut me off and I'd be angry at them about it. I'd be like swearing under my breath and not thinking too good of thoughts about them, to put it lightly. And it's all because I'm caught up in my own anxiousness. I'm trying to get to my destination, and every little thing that gets in my path is going to set me off because I've allowed myself to start with that mindset. So adding 15 minutes to any situation where you have to get somewhere, whether it be your work or an appointment or an event of some sort, will have a significant impact on removing chaos out of your life. Another thing you can do to get chaos out of your life is an obvious one. Avoid crazy, dramatic people from being in your life and being around you at all times. If your friends that you have or your acquaintances that you have and that you participate with in life, or your partner in life, I don't know what your situation is, but if it is a constant state of chaos, of craziness, of drama, if you have people in your life that are never happy and they always have some sort of, fight with somebody, some sort of turmoil in their life, and they're always sharing that with you and getting you caught up in the discussion, well, guess what? They're wreaking havoc on you mentally. They're making it so that you feel like them. They have no control over their thoughts or feelings. And if you're around those people all the time, you're not going to have any control over your own thoughts and feelings either. You're going to be operating from a state of chaos. And the only way to stop that from happening, one of the key ways, is to stop being around these types of people. Now, another one that goes without saying is, maybe you are one of these people. Maybe you're one of these crazy, chaotic people in life who always seem flustered and upset about something. And you're always caught up in this anger and this perception that the world's against you, or that somebody else is doing something very bad and they don't see things right the way they should see it, the way you think it should be. When you get caught up and you become that type of person, not only are you hurting yourself, but you're hurting everyone around you that you're sharing this stuff with, because you're taking their happiness. Turn it around. You're taking their happiness. You're walking into a situation where they're having a happy, good day. They're feeling pretty good generally about the world. And you've taken it upon yourself to share with them how awful you feel about everything so that you can change their mood and destroy their day in the process. Another idea for getting rid of chaos in your life is to avoid debt at any cost. And if you do have any debts, pay your bills on time. I can elaborate on it, but when you have debt in your life, you feel like you It depends on how bad it is. It depends on how much debt you have. There's good debt and bad debt, of course. But if you have a lot of bad debt, debt where you've purchased vehicles that are expensive, you've purchased a house that's outside your means, you're constantly charging things on credit cards, and you're running a balance, so you're paying monthly payments on these high interest loans, and you've gotten caught up in all this. And yes, people could drive by your house and think, wow, that guy or that gal's really doing well. Look at all those shiny things they have. But behind the curtain and behind the picture, you have this giant thing of debt hanging over your head. Now that is some real chaos in your life. That mentally wreaks havoc on how you feel. So avoiding debt is extremely important at any cost. Really make decisions, and all it takes is being an adult, making decisions to live within your means. Thinking about, what is this impact going to be if I make this purchase on my ability to have sanity in my life? Not be worried all the time about whether I can pay my bills. So before making any significant choices in your life, I'm suggesting you do what I do. Take a step back when you're making an important decision and ask yourself, will this decision that I'm making, this choice that I'm making right now, whatever it might be, because I don't know what the choice is. There's many things that come our way. But will this thing have the potential to bring chaos into my life? Will it have the potential to bring negativity into my life? Or overall, will it have a positive impact on my life? Will it allow me to keep chaos out of my life? And some examples of that are, say you're gonna switch jobs, change jobs. This new job that you're gonna get, so somebody dangled a carrot in front of you and they offered you more money, for example. This new job that you're going to get, is it going to be any better than the job you have right now? Will it be less chaotic? What's the commute like? How far do you have to drive? What changes will have to be put into your life in order for you to make this big change? And work is just one example, but there's many things, relationships, different activities you want to do in your life, investments that you want to make in your life. All these things come with risk, right? And you need to ask yourself, is this decision going to be something that brings peace and tranquility into my life? Is it going to improve my life truly? Am I mentally going to be able to handle this thing? Is it going to be a benefit to me? Another example of something you should maybe pay special attention to are the pets that you have in your life. Now, I believe having a pet is an amazing thing. It can have a great benefit on your well-being overall, your stress levels overall, and how you feel in life. Because I personally have a pet. I have a little dog. But I've seen many times in life where I know people have made the wrong life choice when it comes to their pet. They've purchased a pet that maybe was adorable as a puppy with very little thought and never really took the time to investigate and find out what the proper energy level is for the pet they're getting, something that matches their lifestyle. And I've seen many people with these ginormous animals in their homes that are constantly barking, constantly creating negative noise all the time, constantly in trouble. And it's probably their nature. They have this high energy and they have to get it out somehow. They're not getting walked regularly or whatever it might be. But these people are left and they've introduced this chaos. They actually probably paid money to have this chaos brought into their life. So a lot of thought should be put into these kinds of decisions when it's something that's going to affect your life for many years. It shouldn't be a knee-jerk thing. And that goes for everything. It goes for, like I said, it goes for decisions you're going to make with your work, with your relationships, with the animals you bring into your life, and with everything actually that you bring into your life. You need to really assess it and say, what is the impact going to be on me? Is it going to be positive or is it going to be negative? So the third step, now that we've got negativity out of our life and we've did our best to get chaos out of our life, is that we need to find ways to get more positivity into our lives and around us. So some things you can start bringing into your life intentionally. One is meditation. You might want to try out some methods for meditation, and there's many methods out there. And I know I personally tried some out there, and I didn't really like them. They didn't work for me. I couldn't get relaxed. I couldn't understand it. And I dismissed it at one time in my life. About 8 months ago, almost 9 months ago now, I had an issue where I was really having a hard time sleeping at night. And I made a video about that weeks and weeks ago. But one of the first things I did is I gave meditation another shot. Okay, it was the advice of actually a doctor that I was talking to. And I gave meditation a shot, and it made all the difference. I now meditate regularly, and I was a person who never believed in any of that stuff. I thought it was all like woo-woo, chanting and getting in touch and being mindful with this moment. I thought it was all a bunch of woo-woo stuff. I wanted it to be true, but I just couldn't get into it. I couldn't relate to it. But luckily 8, 9 months ago, I did give meditation another shot. Someone who I trust dearly, my sister actually, coached me on how to do it properly. And the benefits, I still reap them today. It's amazing. I'm so glad that I brought meditation into my life, and I advise you do the same. Another positive thing you can bring into your life is music. If you find that you're listening to a lot of abrasive music, a lot of loud music, a lot of hard music, and that's your regular thing because you're just accustomed to it. That's what you just liked when you were younger, and that's kind of what you listen to now. Well, I just ask that you try something different. That's all. Just a different approach. Try to seek out music that is positive in nature, that is calming, that's not so harsh and aggressive. And yeah, there is a time for some, if you like a music with a good beat and loud and energetic, well, that's different. If you need that for like going, say you want to go, like I do when I work out, I listen to music that's a little more aggressive, a little bit more, a little more high impact, right? But on the most part in your life, you should find more time to have peaceful music in your environment, because it does everything you listen, all your senses, right? Everything you can see, everything you can listen to, everything you can smell, everything you can touch. These things all have a huge impact on how you feel. Another thing I would suggest is getting yourself around like-minded, positive people. People that think and feel the way you do. And I'm assuming you're a positive person. But if you can surround yourself with positive, good people in your life, and part of that, again, is closing that door of negativity on people that are negative in your life, and get these positive people around you, that's only going to rub off on you mentally. You're going to have better conversations, there's going to be less conflict, and you're going to have an overall better feeling when you are in this situation with these people. And even after, when the situation's done, you're not going to be walking away from situations feeling bad about the situation, or feeling negative about the situation, or feeling angry about what just took place. Another thing you can do to bring positivity in your life is you can plan out positive events. Positive events with your family, positive things you can be doing with your partner, positive things, not, what are we doing tonight? I don't know. Let's go to the bar. Let's go out to the bar and, whatever happens, happens. And we're going to drink before we leave, and we're going to have all this, alcohol, and then we're going to go to the bar and we're going to drink, and that's going to be our idea of fun. Well, it takes years to learn this, but if you're in that kind of culture, the culture that I was raised in, and that's what we did for fun, that's all you really knew. And it didn't take much thought either, so it was easy, right? But nothing good ever comes from that kind of a life. That's just a life of negativity on a hamster wheel. That's all that is. You need to be more creative. What can I do? What can I do locally in my area that's positive? Are there places I can visit? Are there places in nature that I can go with someone I care about so that I can just soak it all in and enjoy it? Enjoy the positivity and see the little things in life that I didn't see before, all the little details, and be able to focus in on the now, and all the great things that are going on around you. And I guess I should add in something again about pets. Seeking a pet that matches your lifestyle can be an extremely positive thing. It doesn't matter what kind of pet. I love all animals myself, but it can be a cat, it can be a dog, it can be a bunny rabbit, it can be anything that is going to give you some positivity, give you something else besides yourself to think about. One thing I've learned about dogs, and I haven't had a dog in years and years and years, since I was really, really young. But I recently, about 5 years now, I've had a dog in my life, a little dog, or my little girl, I call her Cookie. And she's an amazing little animal. Every single day I come home from work, she smiles. She gets up on the back of the couch and she's waiting for me. She's only about this big. And she physically smiles. I've never seen a dog do this. I found out later that it's quite a normal thing for dogs to do. But it just makes my entire day. It does. I could be in any mood and I come home and she's waiting there and her little tail's wagging 100 miles an hour. And she's smiling at me and she's happy that I'm home. Now, I can just imagine, I've got a lot of good things in life. I have a loving wife who treats me great and understands me, and she respects me and cares for me. But I can imagine somebody who's alone and doesn't have anybody or has a relationship that isn't that great. Having someone like Cookie in your life, like that little dog, it can have a huge impact. I know it does for me, and I have a pretty good life, but she makes it better. So yes, bringing the proper pet into your life can have a significant impact on positivity in your life. Another thing I can suggest, if you want positivity in your life, is to maintain a positive, clean, and organized home and work environment. So take the time to make sure the things that you have, and I don't care whether they're fancy or whether they're shabby in your perception, but it doesn't matter if it's just a one-bedroom apartment or it's a mansion that you live in. Make sure that it's tidy, it's organized, that it's clean, that you've taken some pride. Did you make your bed this morning? Little things like that make a huge impact on your life. Taking care of those things, making sure they're neat and tidy. If you're at your place of work, putting little phrases up that remind you not to sweat the small stuff, that life is good, that on the most part, people have good things they have good intentions, that not all things are bad, that darkness doesn't win, that there's much more light in this world than there is darkness. And keep things orderly. Make it so you're not searching around in a panic every time you turn around. Make sure that you've taken the time and organized things so that everything has a place. So when you're looking for that thing, you know exactly where to reach. I'm telling you, these are all just little tips on bringing positivity in your life. These are things that I've instilled in my own life, and I'm so thankful for it because it's made such a significant change in my life. And if your goal is to lose weight, to do that or gain some muscle or become the most healthy and fit version of you, and you're not there yet, my advice to you is to find some pictures on the internet or wherever, magazines, whatever it might be, and just print up 2 or 3 and have them around your home. Maybe even at your place of work, somewhere where you can reflect on them at least once a day. And I want you to take these images of what the future you might look like, what you're striving for. And I want you to at least daily look at them and review them and reflect and think about what your life would be if you could be like that, if that could be you, if that body that you're looking at, that overall health of that person that you're looking at could be you. And I want you to believe that it is possible. I want you to allow yourself to believe that you do have this potential in you, because that will have an immediate positive impact on how you feel inside. That feeling of hope, that feeling of potential for what you can be. It'll have an immediate impact on that. And it'll also do something else. It will give you focus. It will keep you in line with what you want to be and what you want to do with your life. It'll keep you on the right path for becoming that healthy, fit, and vibrant version of you. And the fourth and final and most important step that I believe you can take for bringing positivity into your life and making a better life is to set a good example. So what do I mean by that? I want you to take a concentrated effort every single day to be more caring, to be more compassionate, to have more empathy for people, to be respectful, to be patient, to do all those things that you wish people would do for you. And on top of that, what you need to do, if you really want to have a real change in your life, is make an effort each day to be joyful and to bring some laughter into your life and to those around you. Give joy out into the world. When you come into a room, I want you to be thinking, what kind of joy can I bring to this situation? What can I do that would make that person smile? What could I do that would make that person's day just a little bit better? When's the last time I thanked somebody for doing a good job? When's the last time I looked at somebody and truly thought to myself, what a great person? When you start bringing that kind of level to your life and to those around you, you start becoming the joyful person in the room, the person who's positive, who brings just a different attitude, one that's not normal. People look and say, that person's always happy. What's going on with that? Or look at that guy. He's always such a good person, always thanking me, always being appreciative, always being respectful. That dude's got a lot of patience. When people can see that in you, that goes out into the universe and it only comes back to you. And that's the truth. That means the opposite's the truth too. When you're not that person, when you're the person who's reactive, when you're the person who can't keep their stuff together, when you're the person who's always angry, because life will give you a million reasons to be angry. But when you are that person, you bring that into the room every time, people see it. And that usually comes back to you too. So the power in that is you have a choice. You have a choice to be that reactive person, or you can be the one who brings the joy, brings the laughter, brings the peace, brings the harmony into the room. You can be that person. And that will have the biggest impact on you. That is a great way to bring positivity into your life, by being positive. So in summary, the first step for getting positivity into your life is to address the low-hanging fruit, and that is getting negativity out of your life. And like I said, there's many aspects of negativity. There's negative people, there's negative media, there's negative music you can listen to, there's negative events you can go to. But the more negativity that you can weed out of your life, the much better chance you're going to have at having a positive life, a peaceful life. The second thing you need to do is to get chaos out of your life. And that could be good and bad things. There are good things we take on in life. You know, different things, different opportunities we can get. We need to assess whether they're going to introduce more chaos into our life. And what's the risk to reward factor on that? Is taking on this thing, whether it be good or bad, is it going to bring negativity and chaos into our life? And third is an obvious one. We need to make a concentrated effort to seek out positivity and bring it into our life. We need to be in positive environments. We need to be around positive people. We need to have positive music going in our ears. We need to participate in positive events. You know, when's the last time, take a step back, ask yourself, when's the last time I did something that was a positive event, something I went to that was positive, that made me feel joy in my heart, that made me feel alive and feel like I was in line with what I should be doing? And if your answer is, I can't remember ever going to an event like that, then start thinking about that. Think about what event could I introduce into my life An event can be anything. It can be going to a place. It could be experiencing something. It could be joining a group online, a positive group of some sort. It can be going to your place of worship. It could be anything, really. But something that you know would bring some joy and positivity into your life. And seek out that. And the fourth and final step of something that you can use to bring positivity into your life is to be positive yourself. Set a good example. Bring that wonderful energy into the room. Bring that joy into the room. Bring empathy into your life. Be caring to those around you. Be respectful to those around you. You know, the little things, being polite, saying thank you when someone does something for you, being grateful in life, and being that person that you wish you could hang out with, because it'll come back to you. When you're a positive, good person, like I said before, good things come into your life because that's the way the universe works. The universe allows you to will things into your life. And I know that sounds woo-woo. I know it does. It's like the book The Secret and all this other stuff that's out there. But I found at age 52, more than a half a century old now, that these things are true. We are what we will into our lives, what we bring into this world. It all comes back to us. There is such a thing as karma, and I do believe in it. And the awesome thing that comes with that thought and idea is that we can change our life at any moment. We have control over what happens to us. We have control whether we have positivity in our life or whether our life is full of negativity and chaos. It's all up to us. It's what we want to bring into the world and what we want to accept and bring into our lives. It's really that simple. And so with that, before we go today, I'm going to set an example of being a positive person. And part of being positive is the willingness to give. And I'm going to give you my free Automate Your Plate checklist. I'm not going to sell you my Automate Your Plate checklist or my Automate Your Plate approach. I'm going to give it to you for free today. So as I shared earlier, you can download your very own free copy of my Automate Your Plate checklist. It takes you through all the steps of Automate Your Plate so you can print it, begin following it, and you'll be automating your plate in no time, allowing you to shed some significant weight and have a balanced eating approach that's livable, easy to do, and that you can follow for a lifetime. It's as simple as download the checklist, print it, follow the steps, and no thinking required. And you can get that at ethanlerock.com/automate. That's ethanlerock.com/automate. And if you're watching on YouTube, there is a link down below and you can get it there. And before I go, I'm curious. Please share in the comments any time in your life when there's been a positive situation, positivity, let's say, or negativity, let's say, that you've had in your life that has had a significant impact on your physical well-being. Something in your life that either happened to you on a really good level or a real bad level, that actually you can think, taking a step back now and thinking about it, you can come to the conclusion that it did have an impact on your physical well-being, because I'm always interested to hear from you. I'm feeling lucky today that we got to spend some more time together again today, and that I got to share a few more of my little tips and tricks with you today, because I know it does have some potential to help you shed the weight, become more healthy and fit, and have a better life overall. And remember to take the time to do some of these little activities each week, to do the work, because the rest will come easy. This stuff I teach each week is strategically laid out, and I'm teaching it for a reason. It's different than anything you're going to see out there when it comes to your health and fitness. It's based on a lifetime of proven results, and I'm so excited for the potential it has to help you. Have an awesome remainder of the week, and until we meet again, stay healthy, be happy, and live your life with intention every single day.